What's poppin' YouTube? It's your boy Steels, man. Today I'm gonna do a first impressions video for a PSP game, and it's Retribution for the PSP. I picked this up Tuesday, and I played probably about 2 hours in right now. I'm on like the third level, third chapter maybe. The first thing I'm gonna say about this game is the story. First of all, it's not a first-person shooter; it's a third-person, so it kind of plays out like Gears of War or Silent Filter. If you play Silent Filter, it kind of plays out almost exactly like Silent Filter, because the same company that makes Silent Filter actually makes Resistance for the PSP version, that is. The story on the game is pretty good, you know, typical. You know, if you played any of the Resistance game, or if you're familiar with most any first or third person shooters, you know, it's pretty much there's some aliens, and the main character's brother is infected by the aliens, and he's out to revenge his brother's death, and you know, and he gets caught up with the rest of the military, doing different operations and side missions for them, and that's basically it. You infiltrate bases and destroy bases and secure points. You know, pretty typical story, pretty typical. As far as the gameplay of the game, the graphics of the game is actually really good. Really sharp graphics. I mean, some of the cutscenes in this game is like really pretty much on the same level as Final Fantasy, Crisis Core, and God of War for the PSP. That's the level of some of the cutscenes. Now, as far as the actual gameplay, it's real good. The graphics are real good. The only problem that I would say, if I had to be nitpicky and say that if there was a problem, is like for a second person shooter, you have to kind of get used to it because it's a little small. It's not as kind of like big, you know, in your face as like if you was playing Resistance or Silent Filter or Gears of War on an actual, you know, TV monitor. But you know, when you're just playing it on the normal size PSP like this, normal size PSP screen, it's kind of like pulled back, so you get like a full view of everything. So it kind of makes your man a little smaller. So most of the men in the game are probably about like that size basically, and then your man might be a little bit bigger. But I mean, that's just me nitpicking. I mean, it's still, as far as, you know, overall the graphics are still great. And I mean, you can see like the bullets flying around, and the sound is great. The sound is great. The voice acting is okay. It's okay, but not, like I said, I'm just being nitpicky just because I'm doing first impressions. But the voice acting is cool. Could have been better, but it's cool. That's pretty much about, you know, that's all I'm gonna say about the graphics. Now, the main thing about this game really is gonna be it's gonna take some getting used to. Even though, like, when you first put it in, you see the graphics and you see the sound, you're like, oh, it's a great game. The only thing that's gonna take some getting used to is the controls. That's what kind of, like, when I first played it, it kind of took me a while to get used to it, because since you don't have, like, you know, 2 analog sticks, the PSP only has 1. It's like what you have to do is you control the actual man with the analog stick, and you control the camera angle with the X and square and circle button. It's like if you want to turn left or right, you use the circle and the square. If you want to turn to his back, you press the X, and if you want to turn forward, you press the triangle. And that kind of, like, I haven't played Silent Filter on the PSP before, so I don't know if that's how the control scheme is on that as well. But I mean, it took me a while to get used to it. It has automatic aiming. That means like the target actually locks on. It locks on to the enemy, so you don't have to like lock on target, which is good because the men are a little smaller. But you fire with the side buttons. The secondary grenades and secondary weapons, you use the other switch. The D-pad you use to change weapons, and like the grenade, missile launchers, sniper weapons and stuff. And like if you get to a place where you have to like jump over something or push something down or just do any type of special action, you have to mash down on the D-pad. That's like, I mean, as far as that, like so far the 2 hours I played, like that's really the hardest thing to get used to. I'm pretty much getting the hang of it right now. It's like, you know, I can actually move around pretty smoothly and everything. And once you get the hang of that, once you get the hang of the controls, and once you get the hang of the size of the graphics or the meaning and things, it's actually a real good game. It actually is a real good game. You know, as far as it being action. Now, some of the special features I'll tell you about with this game is that you can actually run this to your PS3, which I can't because I don't have a PS3. But you can actually run this to your PS3, which actually affects the story mode, some of the intel. You can download some of the weapons from Resistance 2, and you can change some. You can download some skins. You also, if you have a PS3, you also can activate a mode called Infected Mode, where you can play with the same characters, but this time your character is just infected as a zombie, and that affects the story, and that allows for the storyline to change. So the people you come in contact with, they actually treat you a little different because, you know, you're infected and you're actually fighting the sickness. And I guess I would take from that storyline, you know, you're probably trying to find a cure for yourself as well as, you know, everybody else. You also can, if you have a PS3, you also can use your DualShock controller. Now, you know, by you hooking it up to the TV, running through your PS3, and you actually having the choice to run, you know, the actual PS3 controllers might actually make this game a whole lot better. Now, I think a lot of people are going to be complaining about the controls, but that's a good feature to have. It's also I haven't went online with it, so I can't really say, you know, how the multiplaying is. It could be okay though. It could be okay. Like I said, I haven't played it. I have to check it out, you know, a little later on and really just see how it is. But, you know, for all in all, my summary would be that Resistance for the PSP is actually a real good game. If you're looking for something, you know, a great third-person shooter like Resistance or Gears of War, Silent Filter, something for your PSP so you can take on the road. Great sound, great graphics. 30 minutes to an hour. You know, if you're a true gamer, you get the controls down. After that, it's a blast. If you have a PS3, it takes on a whole new game, so you're really getting your money worth out of it then, because you can actually get new content, new storyline. You can play, you can import some of your weapons from the Resistance 2 onto this game. You can actually use your DualShock controller to play this game. So definitely a lot of play value. Do I think, you know, from the couple of days I have it, is it worth $39? I'll say yeah. I'll go ahead and say yeah. If you can get this, you know, if you can wait a month and it drops $5, I mean, perfect. It's definitely worth $35. $40, I'll go ahead and say it's worth $39 because, you know, it's not many third-player shooters for the PSP. So if you had any doubts about it or thinking about picking it up, I'll go ahead and say yeah, it's worth it. And that's Resistance for the PSP. Retribution. And it's worth buying, people. Great third-person shooter. Great story, great graphics. It's your boy Steels Forever signing off. And as always, rate, comment, and subscribe. Later.